Since the Oscars are around the corner, why don't we have a look at one of the contending shorts for Best Animated Short? Not to mention that Hallmark's holiday for making people feel miserable about themselves is this month, so we may as well discuss a love story. Last year we had an impressive short that combined old school techniques to create something new. Continuing the tradition of progressing the art form with keeping old values and traditions alive, we have a short from Disney called Paperman. I actually don't want to spoil the story, so I'll say about its premise very little, and that it's the traditional boy meets girl scenario. However, the scenario might be a similar one filmmakers like John Hughes has beaten to death. The short takes a very stylistic approach by having black and white palettes set in the early 20th century New York. On top of that, there's a neat approach to how it's animated, which is equally counteractive when you think about it. The idea of the short is possibly fueled on nostalgia. And what better way to show nostalgia in animated form than to go back to how shorts originally were animated back in the day. This is why characters are rendered with pencil strokes to give the impression that it's coming off the page. However, that's the problem. It's copying the effect rather than giving it to us. It may look like traditional animation on the surface, but underneath it's all computers. The behind the scenes videos show us the painstaking process to which the short has first created models, went through several renderings to give the ink wash effect, and then finally showing a vector frame by frame process that gives the film the look which it's going for. When you get down to it, why go through all the pain of creating an expensive simulation when you can easily do it on paper? I'm not saying that it doesn't look bad, but honestly, for a short called Paperman, you figured it'd be done on paper, right? My theory is that it has to do with what the general public expects out of their cartoons these days. For years, Disney likes to make advancements that are technologically groundbreaking when it comes to their feature animation. Ironically, even when the film is supposed to feel small in scale, it tries to go for something large and setting the standard in animation that makes it hard for other studios to top. Hell, the fact that the short was placed on top of Wreck-It Ralph instead of a smaller movie like Winnie the Pooh or Frankenweenie shows that it wants to make sure as many people see the short even if it's different in tone. I mean, seriously, what does Wreck-It Ralph have anything to do with an adult-oriented story about young love? Hell, Frankenweenie was in black and white, so it makes sense tone-wise. I don't know, maybe Disney knew that Frankenweenie wasn't going to make a lot of money, so it's kind of a cynical implication, but let's face it, stop-motion movies don't put butts in seats. However, with all my bashing, I hope you're not under the impression that I hate this short, because I really did enjoy it. If anything, it gives me a good feeling that Disney's at least trying to stay ahead of the animation curve and uphold their standards in recent years. If anything, I wouldn't be surprised if this short wins the Academy Award. However, Adam and Dog is a great retelling of the Garden story that actually, I would like to see that win an award too. Then again, what do you expect, Maggie Simpson's Daycare? Yeah, I'd recommend checking Paperman for yourself. It's available online via Disney's YouTube channel.